What's going on, guys? I'm back with another one. And I just watched a movie called Matrix Resurrections, starring Keanu Reeves, Carrie-Anne Moss, and Yahya Abdul-Mateen II. I actually made it through that entire name. Good for me. Good for me, guys. First of all, let's speak about the Matrix trilogy, the old school one, the one we were all familiar with. All right. First, there was Matrix, which was an immediate classic. This is the one that we know all the slow motion, bullets flying in midair, getting stopped in midair type action, which is a action trope that is very well known and a little played out now. All right, but we still love that movie. Then there was Matrix Reloaded, or Part 2. Pretty much the same thing, but just a tad bit better, with the epic ending scene of, the multiple Agent Smiths. So themselves was a very good fight scene. The action was a little rougher in that one, in my opinion. I love it. I love that. Then they for some reason turned back right around in the same year and made Matrix Revolutions, which I don't even remember that one. I'm sorry, I don't. Now there were some twins in one of these movies. I guess that was the one. I forgot. I don't even know. But that happened. That happened. Okay, and so now we have Matrix Resurrections after a lot of years. Right? And my question is, will Matrix Resurrections be at least as good as Matrix Reloaded? We're about to find out. Let's go. Matrix Resurrections, for those who don't know, for those who are not aware, you must be in the Matrix if you do not know about this somewhat reboot, respark, whatever you're going to call that, Matrix Resurrections. You must be in the Matrix right now. All right. Matrix Resurrections. It's pretty much about Neo just coming back to the roots that he knows, being pulled back and pulled out of the Matrix or pulled into it. They want to cross your mind up with that one, but he's being pulled back into the world that he was in years ago. All right, he's being pulled right back in, and he doesn't even remember that he was in that world, and it slowly has to come back to him bit by bit. So it also has to do that with other characters in the movie, or just probably one other character, and he finally remembers what he has to do, which is he's reminded throughout the entire movie. You know what you gotta do. You know what you gotta do. You know what you have to do. And so let's just say he does it. And that's the premise of the movie. All right. Just like a big old reunion. All right. Not really. Positives. If there's one thing this movie still holds strong for as far as the Matrix brand, it's the action, or at least the decent action in the movie. All right, the action was just decent, and I'll give it that. You got the climbing up the walls upside down and still shooting, and he brought all that back. It's very nostalgic, which I'm going to get into in just a minute. But it was very nostalgic, and it brought back memories, and it kind of reminded me of how they used to, love to work that little edge in there. You know what I'm saying? So it was great to see that in full-fledged effect again. It was at least a exciting thing to watch at the beginning of the film. All right. Another positive about this, like I just mentioned, the nostalgia. All right. There is a certain scene in this movie where I guess they're trying to jog Neo's memory. And so there are old clips of old movies, old Matrix movies shown on the screen. And so, if I were to watch this in the theater, there's going to be a whole bunch of screaming and hollering in the background because they're so excited to just see these clips, which you can just get on DVD and watch them yourself. All right, but they're excited to see it. I bet you're excited to see that. But it was actually pretty cool to just kind of be reminded. Yeah, this is when it was hot. This is when Matrix was the thing. All right, and I remember that scene. I love that scene. Oh, remember that character? Remember this character? I loved that. I loved that. I appreciated that very much. Jog my memory. Like you're jogging Mr. Neo's memory, you're jogging your audience's memory too. You're reminding us of what was. I appreciated that very much. Okay. And then my last positive for this. There is a surprise ally in this movie. It's somebody you would not think that would actually help out with our heroes, all right, and Neo and whatnot. And that was a pretty good turnaround. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the fact that for at least some time or a couple of seconds, that person, put the bull crap to the side and was like, okay, you know what? I got my own thing going on. So I'm just going to I'm gonna give Neo a little help here, and I'm gonna do this because I can no longer stand this certain person either. And that's what it takes for people to become allies all of a sudden, when they have a common enemy. You know what I'm saying? It escalated really quick, but I understand. That was pretty cool. You could connect on that level with somebody who used to be not very cool with you, but because you all have this one common thing, this one common hate, it brings you together. More times or not, people are brought together by something they hate than something they like. That's just how things go now. All right. Now let's get into the negatives. My first negative. This movie, especially in the beginning of the movie, when Neo has this supposed normal job that he's taking care of, he's a video game designer or whatever. His whole job area, his whole job environment, for some reason they thought that it would be okay to just put a lot of goofy humor within it. All the characters and the co-workers he's around, they're all just kind of goofy. And they're trying to push this comedy into the Matrix world that was not in the trilogies. Okay? That was not in the trilogies. All right? There was the trilogies had a dark tone to them. Very dark. There was no ha ha ha. I don't remember laughing at Matrix 1, 2, and 3. I don't remember laughing at that. So why are you doing this with Matrix Resurrections? Okay? Stop trying to make us laugh. And then the jokes were not even that funny. They were horrible. The jokes were horrible. And it took all the interest out of this movie. All the what I respected about this film from the first time, it was out. It was gone. It was completely gone. Why they did that, I don't know. That didn't make anything better. All right? That's not the tone of Matrix. Ha ha ha! It's not the damn tone of Matrix. All right? I don't know what they were doing with that. Another negative. There's a new villain in this, okay? And I'm not going to mention who it was, but it should be obvious if you watch the trailers. Maybe it's not. This villain, it had promise at first. it had promise. I saw what was going on. I saw what they were trying to do, through half the movie. And when the villain was revealed, it was such a disappointment. The villain was such a disappointment. They barely did anything for the film. There was a bunch of talking and plot discussing like villains always do. They discuss their plot when they think they have the good guy. They discuss everything they're going to do and why they do it and blah, blah, blah. And then the villain really physically did nothing. And I know that the name says it all, but I don't care. I don't care. When you have a new villain that you're trying to push for a franchise, you need to make it at least as interesting as Darth Maul. Okay? It wasn't even that interesting or that intimidating. It was crap. It was crap. It's like fighting a hard game and then the boss of the entire game is as easy as a level 1. Okay? It was trash. I haven't seen a horrible villain like this in some time now. But that they actually did that. Another negative for me. The mistreatment of Morpheus. Alright. I don't know who would think this is a spoiler, because if you have eyes, you see the trailers, you know what's up. But if you think this is going to be a spoiler, what I'm about to say about Morpheus, please just get to the next negative and then get to the rating of this movie. Okay. From the trailer, you can see that there is a young black man, bald black guy, with the shades and everything, but you see no Lawrence Fishburne, right? Well, that black guy, that is somehow, and I'm not going to explain how that is Morpheus. Okay, that's Morpheus. All right, but it was not a secret. That's not a secret. It's really not. I predicted it. I had people argue me down and say, no, that can't be. Yes, that's Morpheus. I knew it. And I was already like, okay, so how are they going to explain this? And I thought the explanation would be way cooler than what it was. I'm not going to, reveal that either. But when you finally find out how that's Morpheus, such a letdown. Such a letdown. And don't get me wrong, the actor chosen, Yahya or whatever, he's a good actor in most of the things he's done, even with the horrible movies that he had to be in. But with this one, he was just not a good Morpheus. He was so bad. He was horrible. Almost like 1,000 level cringe. Okay? He was up there in the cringe. It just, for some reason, he thought it'd be okay to go a certain route as playing Morpheus and then just drop the ball. Okay, and he was dropping the ball from the beginning by even him being Morpheus. Whatever the reason, Lawrence Fishburne is not in this movie. I don't know. But he's not it. He's not it, man. That's another foul. That's another foul in the game there. What are you doing? What are you doing? The guys who produced this, the brothers or whatever they want to be called, sisters, what are you doing? My last negative. This literally just lacked the Matrix feel. That feel, like I said earlier, there was the humor and all that. Not only the humor, it felt like they were just running this movie through a treadmill. They were just running this through. Okay, it didn't even feel like the same guys produced this. It felt like somebody on a TV series or something was trying to make a comedy out of this. You know, we already discussed that earlier, but still, it felt so just not like Matrix, okay? And that is that you are definitely going to piss a lot of Matrix fans off with that. All right, and I'm going to be honest. I didn't enjoy the third Matrix back in the day. I didn't really care about the third one. The first two were great. But this is worse than the third one with the feel of it. And I'm just going to have to say it, man. This movie's getting a hell nah. That's right, a hell nah. You would completely destroyed the Matrix franchise. You destroyed it with this. What are you doing? Why would you even do this? And why would you wait so long to destroy the Matrix franchise? Why would you do that? Man, just like the video, share it, and subscribe if you haven't. All right? Please subscribe if you haven't.